We're going to be taking a deeper look into the analytics side of Canvas. So I have North Stanley Middle School pulled up just as an example. And really, once you get into your account, you'll scroll down over here to the left hand side and go to analytics. And when you go through there, you'll see the default term, but that's not exactly the one you need to be in because you'll notice, oh, there's only one course or one teacher. How is that possible? Mainly because your default term isn't where your courses are. So we'll need to go over here and make sure we're in our 2020-2021 term. Make sure it's also the one you're trying to look at. So for high school, you'll want to look at semester 1. For elementary and middle school, you'll want to look at the one that ends in 2020 and 2021. These should be in alphabetical order here. Right here is my North Stanley Middle. And I'll show you what happens. Let's say I accidentally click on North Stanley High. It's going to show me nothing because I don't have access to the data except for what I've been given. And all I can look at is the data for North Stanley Middle when I'm in that site. So I'm going to go through here and change that again and make sure I'm on the correct term. And now I have everything. So right now I can see that there are 92 courses going on, 33 teachers, 528 students, and then it gives me some other things to look at. If you look at this, this is page view by day. And you could scroll over these things. And if you look at these are really good numbers to take a look at because you could tell, like on October 2nd, there were 1,041 participations. That means students actually did something on that day. So as you could see, that means each student participated more than once. If there are 528 students, that means each student participated in 2 things. That's an average, so that means some students may have done nothing and others may have done 4 things. That also says that there were 65,000 page views. So that means students were clicking and going through things. And as you can see, this data is really consistent. So what that tells me is that teachers have probably got a routine down, students know where to go, and they're consistently accessing things within Canvas. Now, you'll see down here too how it breaks down. And this is activity by the category. What you would expect to see a lot of are quizzes and assignments. You'll also see a lot of files, mainly because a file is listed under the homepage. So like when they click on an image on the homepage to go to modules or something, that would be a file. Also, things that are uploaded into Canvas. So that means this year you've had over 1 million page views for files. I mean, that's a lot. And going through these assignments, you can hover over them and see as well. You also can see the grade distribution. So when you're looking through these, it tells you kind of where the grades fall. And what we want to see is not a big spike in zeros and a big spike in 100, but for right now, 33.4% of students scored a 0 on these assignments. So they have a 0 on something. This may be helpful for some. It gives you a glimpse of what's going on. So don't take this as this is exactly what's going on, because you probably want to follow up and see why there's 33.4% of students scoring a 0 on something. This doesn't tell you what assignment, it doesn't tell you what students, but it gives you overall data trends. So it helps you make more informed decisions when you're going through and having these conversations with your teachers. And you can use this data to kind of frame that conversation because, to be honest, if a student's completing work for one teacher in Canvas, but another teacher doesn't have a lot for the student to do in Canvas, I mean, that's a conversation starter. None of this by any means is a gotcha type thing, and none of it is meant to drill down to the individual, but it gives you a glimpse of this and gives you a trend of what you can look for in Canvas.